In our today's lesson, we will talk about the 12 verb tenses. Okay, the first thing is timeline. Before using any tense, we have to think about the timeline of the tense. First of all, you have to draw a timeline of your life, for example. List 8 or 10 events on the timeline. Make sure you list your future graduation date. When you were born, when you traveled to somewhere, when you studied at the school, when you moved to somewhere, and the next. The 6 English word tenses, 3 simple tenses and 3 simple continuous tenses. The first tense is present simple. The next is past simple. The next is future simple. Simple continuous. Present continuous, past continuous, and future continuous. For example, in the present simple, you should say you walk and I run. In the simple continuous, you have to say you are walking, I'm running. You have to use continuous tenses. In the past, you must say you walked and I ran. In the past continuous, you were walking and I was running. In the future simple, you will walk and I will run. In the future continuous, this action will be done in the future. You will be walking and I will be running. I'll be running. And 3 perfect tenses. Present perfect continuous. Past perfect continuous. Future perfect and future perfect continuous. In the present perfect, you say, you have walked, I have run. And the present perfect continuous, you have been walking, I have been running. In the past perfect, you had walked, I had run. In the past perfect continuous, you had been walking and I had been running. In the future perfect, you will have walked and I will have run. Future perfect continuous, you will have been walking and I will have been running. In the simple present tense, we express a habit or often repeated action. Adverbs of frequency such as often, seldom, sometimes, never, etc. are used with this tense. For example, she goes to work every day. They always eat lunch together. In the simple present tense, this tense also expresses general truths or facts that are timelines. For example, snow falls in December in Minnesota. Water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. And now it's time to use the present continuous. This tense is used to describe an action that is occurring right now. It's a moment, today, and this year. The action has begun and is still in progress. It can be occurring now, but it's temporary. She's typing a paper for her class. He can't talk. He's fixing the sink right now. This is the timeline of simple past. We use the simple past to indicate exactly when an action or event took place in the past. I visited my sister yesterday, and we went out to dinner last night. And also, this tense is used to describe actions or events that are now completed and no longer true in the present. For example, I saw a movie every weekend when I was a teenager. I don't see movies very much anymore. It was happened when I was a teenager. And now, past continuous. The past continuous is often used with the simple past to show that one action was in progress when another action is occurred. For example, I was taking a bus when the doorbell rang. They were eating dinner when the neighbors stopped by for a visit. And also, the past continuous is used to talk about an activity that was in progress at a specific point of time in the past. The emphasis is on the duration of the activity in the past. I was studying for an exam while my mother was cooking dinner. We were walking in the park around 7 p.m. last night. Next, present perfect. The present perfect is used to talk about an event that began in the past and continues up to the present. The action has stopped now. He has lived in Modesto for 2 years. He began living in Modesto 2 years ago and he still lives there. Present perfect is also used to talk about an event that was completed in the past, but the specific time of the event is not important. For example, I have seen that movie before, not an exact time before. He has already visited Vietnam. Specific dates and times are not mentioned above said sentences. Perfect tenses. There are examples of past simple or present perfect. I have written these examples and you have to practice on page 217. Next, present perfect continuous. This tense is used to describe the duration of an action that began in the past and continues in the present. For example, he has been studying grammar for an hour. She has been cooking all day. He is still studying and she is still cooking. The action has not stopped yet. This tense is also used to describe events that have been in progress recently and are rather temporary. For example, she has been living in Taiwan for the last 2 months, but she plans to move soon. And formed by adding have has plus the verb past participle before the verb and ing to the verb. Past perfect tense. This tense describes completed events that took place in the past before another past event. For example, the Titanic had received many warnings before it hit the iceberg. I had already eaten when my friend stopped by to visit. Next, past perfect continuous. This tense is used to emphasize the duration of an action that was completed before another action or event in the past. She had been driving around the city for 3 hours before she finally found the right office. This is the timeline of past perfect continuous. She had been driving, she found the right office. Next, the future tense. Will, be, ing, to are often used to describe future actions. Thomas will graduate in June. Maria is going to Mexico next week. Future simple, present, and present continuous are also used to express future time. These are often used in connection with schedules. She is meeting a new client at 11 o'clock. The train leaves at 6 a.m. tomorrow. Future continuous. This tense is used to describe an event or action that will occur over a period of time at a specific point in the future. I will be teaching ESL 40 at 10 a.m. tomorrow. They will be moving their furniture out of the house by the time you arrive tomorrow. The future perfect. This tense is used to describe an event or action that will be completed before another event or time in the future. We will have finished the exam by the time class ends tomorrow. Future perfect continuous. This tense describes an action that has been in progress for a duration of time before another event or time in the future. By the time he finishes law school, he will have been living in the USA for 8 years. Practicing with sequences, you have to watch out the exercise first page 220. This is also practicing. This is also how do you form passive? Subject, acted upon, verb to be, past participle by phrase. The books are illustrated, for example. There are 3 moods, for example, indicative, imperative, and subjunctive. Indicative expresses facts. Imperative expresses comment. Subjunctive expresses conditions contrary to factor expresses. If I were you, I would drive home on Sunday. I insisted that he drive home on Sunday. Should, would, used to, supposed to, can, could, and will, would. Don't use more than one or one, can, may, might, should, out. Don't follow with of. Can, could as the past tense of, can, would as the past tense of, will. Don't omit the final D in the phrases I'm used to King. I'm used to King. We are supposed to him for dinner. There are all about today's lesson, and thanks for watching.